Since a couple of weeks, the world has been facing an aviation chaos, causing delays, flight cancellations, baggage losses, and all of that caused by shortages in staff at airports around the world. 2 days ago, I flew on British Airways A320neo with service from London Heathrow to Paris Charles de Gaulle to give you guys positive or negative feedback on whether you should travel in these rough times. Following a very long underground trip, we arrived at the airport with around 3 hours to spare before our departure, and this is very recommended in these times to avoid spending too much time in security and eventually missing your flight. Eventually, our check-in time arrived at 6:45 and we headed to a self-check-in machine to check ourselves in and eventually pass security to leave ourselves plenty of time before our flight. Security took us an extra 30 minutes and our gate wasn't going to be shown until 8:03 PM. We then took this opportunity to have a little walk around the terminal to get some food and also to do a bit of spotting to see when our plane would arrive at the gate. As seen on the opposite taxiway is G-TTNJ, our ride for tonight, a 4.3-year-old A320neo with service to Paris Charles de Gaulle. The aircraft had landed only 7 minutes after its schedule, at 7:52 PM. However, seeing it parked in the middle of the opposite taxiway did not bring very good news, as I was pretty sure that we were going to be switching terminal buildings very soon. And as luck would have it, here is our aircraft parked at the opposite building, which meant that we had to take a train to access our gate. To switch terminals, this little train will take us to our gate B33.
B33 je crois. Ça doit être celui qui est là. Ah peut-être pas, c'est un 777.
Here we are finally at the gate, B33, and here's a 777 and parked to the left of it is our A320neo, and it wasn't long before the first delay message came through.
21:15 local time here in the UK, with this time of arrival into Paris around 11:20 local time. The reason as to why this flight is delayed was due to the inbound aircraft arriving in slightly behind schedule.
So to resume that, our aircraft had arrived 7 minutes past its scheduled time of arrival, and we are supposed to depart at 8:45, which means that we have about half an hour delay, pushing the aircraft at somewhere around 9:15. Therefore, passengers weren't buying that explanation, and many went to complain at the desk.
No, it's not ready to go yet. Although I'm having a hard time believing it.
Yeah, it is kind of strange, isn't it?
Something else that I must say about the British Airways service is that they lack of communication between us, the passengers, and them, the ground staff, as we had a very long period of not knowing what is going on, and that is probably one of the most important things to do as a ground staff member. Since our flight was a fully booked flight, the ground staff were forced to check in for free hand luggage to people who were located in groups 3 to 9. However, this did have some advantages as you were given free boarding and your luggage was checked in for free. However, do I recommend it? Absolutely not, as it is an aviation chaos and a lot of bags are being lost. So this is something that you must avoid at all times. So skipping the very long part of the unknown or no information, we are finally started boarding around 9:45 or 9:50, and we were group 8, so our flight was definitely not going to leave on time at all. We already had accumulated around an hour and a half of a delay, which is huge for people who are expecting some flights at Charles de Gaulle.
Ouais, mais l'avion, il est là, hein.
Today we were seated at 18A and 18B, 2 seats behind the wing, so having a very nice wing view.
C'est où 18 hein?
The seat was pretty comfortable, and the legroom was very good. The seat pocket only offers a safety card. The power outlet could be found under the seat. However, it was not working during this flight. Beacon light is on. We are finally ready for pushback. It is now just up to the pushback truck to push us back onto the taxiway.
Thank you. Cabin crew, doors to automatic glass check.
Cabin crew, prepare for a manual safety briefing. We will now demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft, and your attention is essential as these may differ from any aircraft you've flown on before. Please study the safety cards in your seat area, as this includes important safety information specific to this aircraft type, such as the brace position and the location and the operation of the doors. In the event of an emergency, low-level lighting will guide you to an exit. All exits are clearly marked and are being pointed out to you now. Please take a moment to locate your nearest exit, bear in mind this may be behind you. Opening the doors automatically inflates evacuation slides. High-heeled shoes must be taken off as they may tear the slide. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened. It must be worn whenever the signs are on, and it is fastened.
Following a very uneventful taxi, we were ready for departure.
British Airways flight which is well on its way to Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris. We do sincerely apologise about the delayed departure of this aircraft. This was due to an inbound lateness of the aircraft, a gate change, as well as short on manpower. Please allow me this opportunity to introduce the crew on board today. Our captain for today's flight is Captain.
The flight was very uneventful and no real turbulences or anything is to say about it. However, I am very disappointed about one thing, and that's the food service aboard the plane. We were provided with one small bottle of water and one small, very small packet of crisps. That was one of the most disappointing aspects of this flight, as you would at least, for an airline like British Airways, expect a small cup with ice in it, or bigger, or more consistent dinner for your flight. Considering the flight was extremely late, nothing was really provided, no extra snacks or no extras, which was very disappointing on our behalf. Anyway, we were on our approach to Paris Charles de Gaulle, and you can't really see anything, so I'll just skip straight to landing and let you enjoy the touchdown.
Well, it is our absolute pleasure to welcome you to Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris, where the local time is just coming up to midnight. Please do remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the fasten seatbelt signs have been switched off. When it is safe to do so, please take care when opening the overhead compartments, as some items of luggage may have shifted and could fall out and cause injury. If you require any assistance on disembarkation today, please do remain seated until all the other guests have left. Thereafter, a crew member will gladly come and assist you. If you require any assistance within the terminal building, please do not hesitate to speak to one of our ground staff colleagues who will be more than happy to assist you. On behalf of Captain Nigel Pettingell, Senior First Officer Harry Holmes, myself, Gabriel, Ravina and Aurelis, we would like to thank you for choosing to fly with us today. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on board with us, and we hope to welcome you on board again soon. Please do have a pleasant and safe onward journey. Thank you and have an excellent evening further.
Faut bien répondre.
All in all, this experience does not reflect what British Airways is like, and I was very disappointed with this experience back from London Heathrow, as I expected a very, very good service with such a major airline. The ground staff at London Heathrow were not very communicative with us. The onboard service for food service was not good at all. And I must say, however, that the cabin crew were very, very friendly and very helpful when need be, and they must have my biggest respect. All in all, the experience was not very good at all, and I really hope that if I fly British Airways in the future, they would take notes from these small mistakes and make them better, because these are mistakes that might push away people from flying with them, and that could make a big difference to the airline. So I really hope that that's what they're gonna do. Besides, welcome to Paris Charles de Gaulle, where the local time is past midnight, which means that we have arrived around an hour behind schedule. And to make matters worse, we have been parked somewhere in the middle of nowhere, which means that we are going to have to bus deboard the plane and pass the immigrations office as well, which will take an extra half an hour.
Quoique, non, peut-être pas.
If you're taking a plane very soon, I highly recommend you get a travel insurance, as the delays and cancellations, you will have to check the company's policy, but they will play a lot on that. And if you have a connecting flight, make sure it has at least 6 or 7 hours of spacing between the two flights, otherwise you might find yourself stuck if your inbound flight is delayed by a lot. So anyway, here we arrive at our remote parking spot. As you can see, there was another British Airways on the left, which arrived way before us, and I thank you all for joining in this trip report, and hopefully I would have helped you guys figure out what the best option for your holidays are. So see you in the next trip report.